what we do here is go back.
Good morning, guys. What's up? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's good this morning. Hope you all got well rested up. Nice 3-day weekend for Easter. Snowed pretty gnarly on us, but it turned out beautiful yesterday. It ended up melting off, and yeah, it was a nice relaxing weekend though. Nice chill days. Just obviously did some charting and all that, of course, but did actually try to relax more than usual. Just tried to kind of let things go. It's been pretty stressful lately, and just didn't want to go into this week being all tight and feeling the stress. We got a big week ahead of us, guys. Earnings will be kicking off this week in a big way. We do have I posted the weekly earnings chart map and earnings on the Discord. Definitely take a look at that, guys. Get prepared for some of those ideas. And yes, we'll be taking some earnings plays in here, mostly butterflies as usual. But a lot of it is what I'm thinking is we'll be wanting to watch for certain names for big pullbacks, because this could be the chance to, we all know that it's going to be bad, right? So they're going to prepare for that. I think a lot of them will surprise. I think it's going to be some nasty numbers. The outlook is more important than anything. It's because they don't usually, right? That's how earnings work. They look forward, not backwards. Yes, they need to meet certain numbers, but at the same time, they're mostly looking forward. So it'll be interesting to hear what they say, especially this week. We get a lot of the banks, a little bit of retail, but I'll mostly be keeping my eye on the banks. Also, J&J. There's a couple other ones I'll post tonight to look forward to, but definitely the banks is where we're going to be keeping all eyes on as far as anything we here. Let me restart it on Discord, guys. Hold on a second, everybody on YouTube. I'm restarting. Hopefully that is a little bit better on Discord. I'm not sure what it's doing. It's being super weird. I can see it going in and out. It's better. Yeah. It's something weird. It's like whenever I start it and just let it sit for a while and then come in, it's like it's always messed up. But it's like as soon as I restart it, it all of a sudden is just like fine. I don't know. It's very strange. Anyway, Yeah, so we'll be watching earnings, especially the banks, going into this week. Some big earnings coming this week. There's a lot we'll be kicking off next week too. So we got a good couple of weeks with earnings. It's going to pretty much whipsaw the market around. Like Addict was just posting in main chat, I agree. Still looking long. So basically what that means is, it doesn't go up in a straight line, right? So on pullbacks, I'm going to be buying calls, right? Instead of shorting spikes, I'll be buying the dips. That's kind of the idea. As far as in my head. So oil and gold, commodities, I'll be talking a lot about commodities this week for several reasons. I won't get into it too much probably this morning, possibly, but I'll definitely be talking about it. I had it planned to talk on Tuesday and Wednesday at length on commodities. A lot of stuff going on with gold and oil that will directly affect the market and directly affect some possible plays we'll have coming up. Yeah, so busy week of bank earnings coming up. Obviously, the COVID numbers are going to be very, very much watched because we've got a lot of places that are drastically showing lower numbers, but then we've got a lot of places where it's surging. We're hitting some of those, what would we want to call them, global psychological levels, as we knew we would. But those numbers look scarier and scarier as they climb, so those will definitely be in play as far as just watching the earnings numbers related to the COVID numbers. We did end higher on Friday, which was the biggest week of gains in over 30 years. Obviously, as we've been talking, a lot of that had to do with the $2.3 trillion that they decided to pump in back into the market. So it's pretty much, if you're shorting, you're pretty much fighting the Fed, and that's kind of like gambling against the house. It's very rare that you win. Not that I don't think this is over. I think these repercussions will be going on for a while, but that's a longer discussion for a different time. So the jobless claims came in last week, 6.6. That'll be another thing that. So today, and I posted in the economic calendar, there are no events for today, but the numbers that I think will be moving the market. The job numbers will be interesting to see again this week, where we set, especially after now that a lot of services have been pushing in. I did see just now that, who was it? There's a bunch of companies that are furloughing employees that were trying to hold off on it. I know Disney is also. I know Macy's is trying to restructure some things. So it'll be interesting. There's some companies that are kind of falling over and some companies that are rebuilding at the same time. So it's going to be a very interesting week as far as news on that side of retail goes, along with some of the earnings that'll come out here this week. So yeah, the OPEC deal did have some news come out this week, and it was basically what we had talked about last week, but just kind of finalizing stuff. It does actually sound like everybody is on board with this deal, and that it's going to go through. My only concern with it is time-wise, that there's a lot of iffy time relevance to it, where it's almost like they're just dipping a toe in, but not ready to plunge, and kind of scares me because what's going to happen 2 months, 3 months down the road? What happens in 6 months when one of these companies realizes that it's not working to their advantage and they decide to, just say screw you to everybody again? I think that's another thing, kind of like with the coronavirus, until it's truly vaccinated or cured. I think the same thing with the oil. I think this is going to be on the forefront for a while, and I think Money Moves brought it up in chat, and I was, it was a great, because a lot of people had been getting their attention other places, but he's absolutely right that, we still are in the middle of a trade war, and, I know that they kind of backed off of any news of that, but it'll be interesting to see if they start bringing that back up again, especially for the whole phase 2 part. But I think that'll tie into this whole oil thing, and then if people are all pointing the fingers for the COVID, I think this could get a lot uglier, not just because of what it's done to the economy now and here, but what it has the potential to be doing, in the next, couple months, in a year from now even. I think that it'll be interesting to see that. So China stocks were open last night and today. Europe is not. They most of Europe actually during Easter they have Friday and Monday off. So that's why I didn't post any of that stuff overnight. China was trading. It was very, very low. They were in the red slightly, but no European numbers to account for. As far as the market goes here. So overnight, obviously we had a crazy open. We surged up to 28.1950 here, and then just sunk all the way back below that 27.31 gravity point, which they saved and continued to save all night and morning. And then this morning pre-market, as soon as the full pre-market opened, we started pushing up to here to where we're now only about 3 points off. We're just about to come up to that 27.81 that I cannot stress enough, you guys. I've been talking about it for the last 2 weeks because we continue to play around and dance on it. And it's that August dump low from last August, that 27.81. That level is so significant right now. And I think we're going to push around. I think we're going to be range driven. Earnings are going to be very difficult for them to absolutely push up. I do think we are going to get up there. I think it's just going to be a grind. I don't think we're going to be having these massive days right now, like as of this week. I don't think we're going to see any of that happening right away. I mean, possibly as we get into the later part of the week, but I think as of right now, we're going to be more range driven and the slower kind of grinds. But I do believe that we are pushing up. I would not short anything until we I'll short here and there intraday, but I'm saying anything big or swing, I'm not going to be looking for shorts until we get up at least over 2,900. We have a few levels in there. Attic, I know, just posted again. If you guys go in and look at those numbers and the ES charts page, keep that stuff familiar in your mind. Put them on your chart, write them down, whatever you got to do. I would suggest all of those things. But those levels have not changed, and they continue to literally be in play literally every single day. What else on the market here? Pretty much just the trading we're going. So we're looking like we're going to try to push green. I mean, you'll know right out of the gates too. If they try to fade this thing right away, then it's almost for sure, a buy the dip type scenario, which I might be looking for if that's what the play is. And remember, guys, timing is more important than anything when it comes to this. What else do we have? There's a lot of other news that I'll get into specifically as we go in the week. I think that's really it for now. I don't know. It's weird because it's good for some people and not for you. I'm wondering why. And then on mine that I'm monitoring, it sounds fine now. It was cutting in and out for sure earlier. Well, here, anyway, I'm going to turn down on YouTube on the music. Yeah, we were talking about that MU downgrade, yeah. Man, I don't know why this audio, it's something to do with the streaming because I keep seeing the little numbers. But yeah, the MU downgrade, that'll be something to watch. We were watching MU a lot, really tight last week, so it's interesting that came into play, which will be interesting to also watch. Yeah, YouTube's only a slight delay. I set all the latency stuff, and it should help. The only problem is with the streaming bandwidth, with everybody always being on, it does cut. Sometimes it'll do weird where you have to reset it. But yeah, MU definitely be watching. I posted a list earlier. Let me find that. I want to repost that of what I was watching. It was basically Disney, Amazon, Facebook. Oh, here it is. I'll post it again real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Here. One second, guys. Just posting that list again. Yeah, so Disney, Amazon, Facebook, Duncan, Boeing, Gilead, however you say it, Gilead, JP Morgan, CAT, and MU. Disney, the furloughed workers, the closing of the parks, numbers starting to come in. Even though they're having good numbers for their Plus service, I think the rest of it is very, very bearish. Amazon bearish as well because they have they're no longer taking on new customers for their grocery service. Facebook numbers not coming in as strong as they expected, like a 50% cut almost, basically was what they were saying from the article. Duncan, I'm bullish on. Numbers are starting to look good. Got an upgrade. Boeing, same thing, looking bullish. Gilead, same thing. Numbers coming in, looking very good on some of these corona drugs. JP Morgan is going to be tricky, but I want to be watching this going into earnings. Caterpillar, I'm actually looking back bullish once again, and MU looking a bit. Yeah, I can post these same things in there, I guess, daily. That's fine. And then MU bearish as of today for now with the downgrade. Yeah, let me post it in there real quick, guys. That's a good idea, Willie. I normally wasn't doing it because it was just daily. Those trade ideas were more long term, but it makes sense. Why not? I mean, if I change them, I can just delete them like I do when we are done with a trade. Let me put it in there. Yeah, good idea, man. Good thinking. Good thinking. Okay, so yeah, in trade ideas. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that from now on. That's a good idea. All right, guys, we're gonna just get here, about to open here. Let me switch to my. Got about a minute here. I want to get set. Here we go. I think I got coffee on my keyboard. What the heck is that? So obviously internals will be DT, I know. Yeah, internals will be heavily watched for me this morning, obviously, as always, but definitely this morning to give me a little bit of guiding light to see where we're pushing around to. And here we go. Let's see here. I love that DT always posts that Hell's Bells thing. So funny to me. So ad decline was very, very low for, well, low bearish. So negative 180, not nearly as low as I was. I mean, we're only 10 handles down, so, but still, that's very strong as far as it being able to turn around. Internals on the breadth, pretty much right around on the zero line. A 136 to 1 on the NYSE, a 194 to 1 on the NASI, so not bad at all. Ticks are about 400, so decently strong to the bear side. But it would be all about the timing. So see if that thing can push down. Get a decent maybe pullback. I would love to see it come back down and test our test this 27.55.50, and then I would love to see it get close to that to get a nice entry. It may try to push up to chase, but that 27.81 August low. It's 27.81.83 by the way. I keep saying that, but that's going to be very significant no matter what. And then possibly break through that today or be stuck in this range again like it has been. It's been crazy how range driven we've actually been, except for on the gaps. I'm going to back up and look at something. Yeah. Whoa. Man, I'm glad I went in and did a bunch of stuff. I did a bunch of housekeeping, if you will, on Thinkorswim. I added some more memory and then allocated some space, and then I changed the fonts and stuff. I love the way it looks now. It's so much bigger and cleaner and so much easier for me to read from not necessarily a distance, but should be easier to read for everybody on stream as well, and I'm really digging that. What is going on there? Oh, I wanted to keep that frickin' thing. Oh well. Hold on, guys. So ad decline continuing to fall. We're down to a 503, hitting some large ticks there. 578. The breadth is still trying to push around now. Just went negative in the NYSE. Okay, 141 to 1 negative. So yeah, I was waiting for. I was surprised it was holding up there. Obviously, internals will show us if we're going to flip here. So far, the low is 547. Sitting down about 19 handles, so just under 1%, so about 0.7% at 2760.25. What is going on with that? Fire spirits. So a lot of the oil numbers were up, and they're starting to kind of pull back in. Some of these oil companies I was watching this morning pre-market, So I might get. So this is where I'll be looking to get long now here, guys. I'll starting to look for some buys here, depending on what happens on this level. But this could be a great bounce. I mean, that would obviously be a huge bounce if we got all the way down to the that 2731 gravity point. But this is still a significant level. It's been very much in play for the last 3 weeks. Let's see here, guys. Give me a second. I need to look at a couple of things. Looks like it might want to hold up here. See if it can break through or if it's going to hold up on that level. They're saving it so far, but it looks like they might break it here. It's dipping a toe. There it goes. So we are down to a negative 1,096. We are negative on the breadth indicator, continuing to get pretty strong ticks down here, 687. So that's the ad decline continuing to fall there, guys. So it opened up okay, bearish, but now it's continuing to go down here as well with the market. See, and they're going to continue to save that, so that's where I like this level. I like this level here. Still some pretty strong ticks here coming in. Still a negative 779. The ad decline is trying to pull back up here at negative 800. Still coming in pretty strong. These ticks are still strong. So that is your clue to watch that that it's not. It wasn't not quite ready 100% to reverse. I mean super strong. Negative 895. But price is pushing up and ad decline is trying to push up as well. But see there, it's starting to reverse a little bit on price. So I'm long off of that level, so we'll see here. Tight stop, obviously. Our overnight high was 28.19.50. Our regular trading hour high was 28.09.50. Valiance was 27.70. Single, okay. And then the regular trading hour low was 27.52.25. Okay. There we go. Nice, nice. Looking good so far. Bid staying nice and tight on the bid. I like this bid ask looking good so far. Yeah, so I mean, all of this has me targeting the settlement and higher up. So basically, on any pullbacks, like we were saying, pre-market guys, is kind of still where I'm feeling here. Looking like it so far, especially that gave us that nice opening, gave us a really nice opening entry there. We'll see if it can continue to push up. Don't want to obviously I'm playing a lot smaller. Not looking for big runs. Nice little base hits. I'm not feeling like as much as we were, previous to this. Took a little 30%er there just now, but we'll see. I'm going to hold this one, but I definitely have that stop put back under it at that 27.55.50. So range being 27.52 to 28.09. Okay. Well, while I'm letting that work out, let's take a look around the market. So looking at my futures map here, XOP is down about 0.28%. Financials are pulling back pretty decently here. So XLF is down about 2.5% here this morning at 22.80. Oil is up still about 2.3% here, trading around 23.28. Definitely have my eye watching this. Gold is down just under 1% at 17.37. Anybody on YouTube that did not know, we posted several trade ideas about gold in our Discord. That last gold trade was absolutely spot on, phenomenal. I would suggest at least taking a gander what we've posted this morning there on gold. The VIX is up slightly, about 3% here at 43.09. The VVIX is just up over 0.5% at 138.53. The Nasdaq is just down about 7 points, as well as the ES is down about 24 points. So the Nasdaq significantly stronger right now than ES, and we'll look at tech here in just a second, so that will become apparent. You can see treasuries and bonds sold off. They were slowly grinding up pretty strong over pre-market, and then sold off pretty well here this morning. So that'll be another indicator to watch as far as direction. Looking at the FANG names this morning, Facebook is down about 1.7%. Apple's actually in the red, just up over 60 cents. Amazon is pushing up decently here, up 28 handles at 20.70.83. Netflix up 1.2%. Google down just about $2.24, so nothing, too pretty much flat there. And Microsoft similar, down just about 22 cents. So the FANG stocks are pretty weak, other than Netflix is showing some bullish push, and Facebook is falling perfectly into plan, like we had talked about pre-market. Looking at Facebook coming down, they did show some pretty gnarly numbers that needed to repair themselves. I need to fix these charts. There, hate when they're that small to read, but man, I'm loving that I changed all of this look this weekend. Looks so much better for me, so much clearer and easier to read. 1 second here, let me. Yeah, so my eyes would be watching Netflix as it's holding some strength up here for the Fangs and Nasdaq. So it's kind of funny that Netflix was trailing for so long, and now it's starting to kind of be the leader there. So Boeing was doing decent here pre-market, but pulling back quite a bit from that pre-market push. It is up still in the green, just about 0.33%. Same as Roku, about around similar levels. Having trouble on Roku getting over and closing that 4-hour Celt there. Activision up about almost 2%, so Activision looking nice and strong, nice bounce right off the middle Celt for Activision, looking great. Shopify up another 6.88, so about 7 handles, so about 1.6%. Nvidia down just about $2. Tesla is actually up another $11 this morning at $5.84, so that's looking pretty decent as well this morning. Baba and Bidu both down just a little bit. Baba down 0.13, sorry. Bidu down just about 0.5%. AMD is up 1.2%. Qualcomm up about 1.5%. Disney looking quite bearish, down already about 3% here at 101.36. I would look for any rally in Disney to be shorted. McDonald's is down about 1.7%. However, the thing I would like to watch on McDonald's this morning is to see, well, not this morning, today, is that if it can hold on, even if it's red, if it can hold on to this upper Celt on the 4-hour, I wouldn't mind looking for a long that would be a bounce off of that lower Celt. So, you know, as something is being strong and rising decently, it also had the 14 cross up over the 30, so that is a bullish strategy that we look for here, Aries. And now that on a pullback, this might be a great day to get long on a pullback. You don't ever want to be chasing, but great day to be looking for a pullback. What else do I have? I will take a look at MU a little bit more today, later on, and I'll definitely be looking at some of the earnings, at least the banks, this afternoon. Well, not this afternoon, but later this morning for sure. So, as I was going through all that, we did lose that level there that broke through. So I got that little morning scalp. Glad that I had that tight stop. So I am out as it is now. So that 30% winner was taken out. So now it was only I got a 10%. So, but still, you know what? A little tiny green trade. I'll take it so far in this market. I'll definitely be looking for the next level to get long on. Or possibly to get bearish on, but not bearish until we get out of that range from Thursday. So I will continue to be watching where this wants to go. Ad decline is now a negative 1460. Breadth is falling quite negative, a 372 to 1 in the NYSE and a negative 146 to 1 in the NASI. And the ticks are coming in still decently strong to the negative side, so they are still pushing down a bit here. I want to take a look through my master list real quick while I can, while I'm not in anything. Natural gas pushing up pretty good this morning. Bonds and 10-year still negative, but not as bad as they were, trying to make a push back around. Wow, yeah, Bank of America is down 3.48%. Jeez. Citi is down 4.1%, so no wonder. Financials are just crumbling ahead of earnings here. So, yeah, Bank of America is down 3.6%. Citi is down 4.2%. Jeez. Wow, CAT is down 6% this morning. So this might be a great opportunity to look for hopping in that long for me. I'll take a look at that here in a minute. And then they had some negative news pre-market on Caterpillar, so that. But I actually like what I'm seeing because I want to see a big pullback so I can get long on it. I missed the last one. Serious Logic down 0.6. FedEx up slightly. Goldman Sachs down 2%. So there, yeah, all these financials are looking pretty gnarly this morning. JP Morgan down 3.8. Yeah, all of them. Oh my gosh. Wow. MA down 3.6. Jeez, financials just looking nasty. So yeah, MU is already down about 3.2%. Nike's down about 2.4%. Starbucks down about 3%. Target just barely red. UPS up. Twitter is down 3.8%. VIX is on the run up. It is now up 5.4%. Yeah, and XOM is down 1%. So big change from this morning pre-market. Wow, crazy. Man, this 2731 gravity point just cannot be denied. They just want this thing so bad. Ford shares falling on first quarter revenue warning. I imagine automotive, it's got to be so weak. Saw some of the numbers this weekend. It was just, geez, just horrible. Airlines are leading lower, and as we've talked about before, we've seen this before, and it seems that the SPX, the S&P seems to follow that. So yeah, so airlines are leading lower, and this has happened before, and it's has a lot to do with transportation. And I watch transports because of that same reason, and transports are down 1.4% this morning as well. So. But this is more running. This has nothing. There's no fundamentals right now. It has nothing to do with that. So to me, it is 100% watching levels and not necessarily technical levels, but actual trading levels and ranges, supply and demand. It's all it's running off of here, and that's every direction, as far as I'm concerned. Man, have ticks even got over zero at all? Got close. I'm looking at my tick chart here. Is it even? No. Huh. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, Netflix being the strongest one out here is crazy. Sorry guys, I'm trying to catch up through some of these emails and chats. I know I've got to make a couple calls, but I'm going to wait as long as I can. But I know there's a lot going on with earnings, but really it's more just avoiding those names, but watching them for after earnings, and then stepping in here and there. And we will go through some of those like we were last earnings season. We'll definitely walk through some of the mechanics of running some earnings butterflies that we have deemed those the golden vultures at Aries, but we will talk about those. Count. Oh my god. Sorry. Yeah, good, good. Okay, good to hear then. All right. Yeah, looks like we're kind of stuck in this range here. We do have a nice little turn here in the decline. So it did hit a low of 1609, but we're back up to 1544. So internals are king here. Usually it's cash is king, but internals are king, especially on these ranges we've been playing lately. It's a lot harder to deny those, especially with no fundamentals in this market. What is DeBlasio doing again now? Great. So de Blasio is talking again, but it looks like the numbers, they're actually pretty decent. It's weird. They keep having these weird weekend lulls, but it's kind of freaky because it's like, why are they not being counted as accurately? But it seems like they're doing much better, which is good. So sitting here, pushing, making a nice push back up. We got pretty close to that gravity point, and it seems to be trying to rally back up here, down about 30 handles here, so 1.1% in the ES here. What the heck is wrong with that chart? Sorry guys, I'm having issues here. There we go. So gold is down just about 1%, ES down just a little over 1%, oil up about 4% now, natural gas up 3.2%. The Nasdaq is down only 0.4% in relation. The Dow is down about 1.27, bonds about 0.3, and treasuries about 0.08. So looking pretty whipsaw, flip-floppy. Pretty much 50-50, so that's indicative of a range day most of the time, you guys, unless something big comes out to move the market one way or the other. But it seems like pretty much going to be a range day, pushing around. I would be still leaning more towards a push back up throughout the day, but man, this week is going to be it's going to be a tricky one. I probably will be trading a lot less as far as swing trades go. I will probably be looking for some decent, intraday stuff to day trade and some of these earnings flies, but keeping them real cheap and real small size wise. I'll probably be, but you'll hear me probably saying it quite a bit, is definitely keep your cash close to your chest on this one, guys. And this week is going to be one of those weeks where we really need to watch position sizing, and watch anything you're going with that is a directional play, get some duration. And I'm definitely going to be myself, I'll be backing off quite a bit on swing trade size. Wait, what? Nasdaq acting fishy. Well, just behind. Amazon holding it up. Netflix and Amazon, yeah. Well, that's for sure. Yeah, I think people are just getting kind of scared of earnings this week. And then you've got like things like Amazon and Netflix holding up the Nasdaq, but people I think are really backing off as far as uh, going in. I mean, they had this nice relief rally that came in for the last couple of weeks, and now I think we're getting just bad timing for the bulls, perhaps. I mean, I still think we get a nice push up, but then I do not see us continuing to go. I think you will get a big drop after that we get a push up, but earnings are going to be significant, so I think a lot of people are eyeballing that. So, I mean, financials are just, they're showing it. I mean, they are just absolutely hideous this morning, so you'll hear probably quite a bit of people talking about that later today and into tomorrow, with financials being so bad today. So closing in with that 27.37.75, we're getting close, about 1.5% here, getting really close to that gravity point of 27.31, where I definitely would be looking for a possible long bounce off of that, and a break under that would be my stop, guys. So that's what I'm looking at right now here. God, I went in and turned those notifications off again on Thinkorswim, and they still keep dinging. I don't understand it. Drives me crazy. Yeah, so Caterpillars was the downgrade of Bank of America. I couldn't remember it off the top. Sorry, off the top of my head, but that's what it was. Yeah, but I definitely want to watch that for a longer term play. The bigger the pullback, the better it'll launch. Especially once things come out. I mean, obviously we knew Caterpillar was going to be. That was going to happen. I mean, with everything coming to a screeching halt. I mean, yeah. However, I think there's going to be a lot of infrastructure money coming in, because that's where they're going to find a lot of excuses to spend money, governments, to get people back to work, especially furloughed workers. I think that'll be a big push we'll see here coming, especially this summer. Mark my words. Mark it down today that I said that. I'll even post something about it to screenshot that. I think we'll see a big push for infrastructure construction, because it's the easiest way to spend money that everyone agrees on that needs to be spent, that people are willing to pay for, and it pays decently, and people that don't need to be overly educated for those jobs, and even if they are educated in different fields, it can work. So I think we're going to see a big push for infrastructure, and not just the United States. I'm talking globally, but obviously in this case, the United States. But I definitely think that'll be one of those things where it'll be nice to get into some of those builder names, especially as they're going to be super discounted after all of this. So that'll be something I'll definitely be watching. Yeah, right on, DT. Cool. Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah, exactly. Like X would be a great name to watch out of this. I'm not saying yet. Obviously, we want to see a big discount, but I definitely see that coming. So we'll wait for these pullbacks, especially after earnings, and then as we get into summer, they're going to be especially Trump. He's going to want to spend a lot on infrastructure. I think this is a great time to do it. We need bridges and roads, all of that stuff. Yeah, oil's pushing up really nice here. But it's going to whipsaw, you guys. Oil's one of those things like, yes, if you're long USO with us, that's stay in it for long. That's months. But if you're gonna intraday these trades, I would absolutely take them at the lows, and as soon as they spike, get out. These things are not going to hold. It is not going to hold. These things are going to whipsaw around. Man, Amazon up over 51 points now. Wow, 2.5%. Jeez, beautiful. Apple just can't seem to get a boost going at all underneath of it. In the green still, but and AMD is up over 2% as well. Yeah, so Cat X. I have a few other ones. I'll post like a list of these together. So guys, looks like we're gonna get a great bounce off of that play so far we got here. So beautiful little gravity point bounce. So far those intraday bounces have been working great. I mean, first one was, well, 30%, but I had to settle for 10 after my taking the loss on the second runner. But this one already back up at 40%. Jeez, that was quick. Why did that spread jump so fast? Huh? Kind of sketchy. Definitely won't take those profits then. Oh, right on. Crazy. Yeah, the surveyors, man, that's a hell of a good business. I've got a friend, he's an old retired surveyor up here, but that guy, multimillionaire, he built his fortune off of that, off his own company. He did a lot of commercial work, but man, what a cool job for him. He got to travel around a lot younger, back when the country was still kind of being built, back in the 50s and 60s, especially out here, in the Northwest. Yeah, I bet. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's a good job. Still a good job. A lot of the guys I know that do it, especially like around my age, they mostly are up in the oil fields. So we're getting our first good strong ticks up over the zero line here finally. That is of note to note that we're in the next the second 30 minutes of half. So that is very interesting. So it seems like we pretty much pre-market. Go back and listen to exactly what we said. We called it that get that nice fade for the beginning of the morning and then push up here. So I would love to see this continue to push up at least to that 27.81, and then we'll be perfectly in our call and as well as my target range. So, but still within the range day. There's nothing significant there breaking out. Yeah, I'm not sure what he meant either, but I hope he's okay, or I think he just means the market, I hope. Oh, okay. It was just the way you worded that in Discord, and we were like kind of worried. We were like, wait, what? Like I was like sitting there like, wait, what happened? What do you have you taken anything yet, or are you just sitting on your hands still too? Yeah, I feel yeah. I just grabbed. I was just a tiny little scalp in the SPX, and then I was looking for something like a little bit longer in SPY, but I'm not with earnings this week, man. I was just talking about it. I'm gonna stick away from probably most swings. I probably will very. I highly doubt I'll take any big swings this week. There's no way. If I do take anything, it's going to be very small size this week on swings. I'm just so sketched out with earnings because like I just don't know which way it's going to go. Oh shit, that's right, dude. I fucking forgot. Did you not look at the earnings calendar? Or were you looking for a ride up to earnings? So you got in at a good price. Okay. Oh, okay. So that was smart. See, well, that's a great lesson right there. Yeah. Good. Okay. Sucks to have to get out on a day like today, but it's just like, man, like, oh, what's it gonna? You just don't know what it's gonna do. It's just like, damn. I think Wells Fargo's tomorrow. I think, and then it kicks out. Yeah, I think, and then it's like a bunch on Wednesday. Here, hold on, let me.
We're open on Wednesday, so I think I'm gonna we'll reevaluate.
Yeah, so Tuesday's Wells Fargo before market opens. After Washington Federal, but doesn't really count. Wednesday before is Citi, Bank of America, and U.S. Bank. And then Thursday, BlackRock before, and KeyBank. And I thought there was another one. Oh, and then a few smaller ones like Interbank, Citizens, all on Friday. So yeah, quite a few.
Hopefully they boost the premium though. I wouldn't complain about that.
Well, that's what you hope. That's what you hope, right? Even it's like sometimes when I get those, I would do like those straddles, and I would be able to take winners on both sides because the frickin' IV would just fly up, right? And it's crazy because like it's already going up a week, 2 weeks before, but like I've noticed lately, the last couple quarters, that like they've significantly increased within like the 24 or 72 hours, like significantly, which normally it's already been priced in, but no, I mean you could catch a big boost no matter what. The stock could go down another 2 or 3%, but if that IV keeps going up, it doesn't matter. It's like that's a good. I mean that's a real plan, so whatever.
That's kind of like went through my head when you posted that. I was like, I didn't even know, but I mean they were expiring this week anyways. So
Yeah.
Wednesday.
No, I think that you have a good plan. I think there's no reason that isn't somewhat. If it doesn't do that, that would be the rarity, right? Like.
But it's 2 calls, and I'm up 100K, so I mean 2 calls. It's not really gonna kill me.
Yeah, at the absolute worst, you'll maybe break even, and that would be still a lot. You know what I mean? I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know how much of an impact like full earnings will have. I think it's gonna be more guidance.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think anybody thinks. Yeah, nobody thinks that earnings are going to be blown out of the water. Everybody's already knows. So what's going to probably happen actually is everybody's going to try to. All these idiots will try to, all the Robinhood FinTwit kids or whatever. They'll try to short it, and then it's going to give it massive short interest, and then they're going to guide good. And then they're going to get a short squeeze, and it's going to fly up like 10%. I don't really know, but I know that when everybody sees it coming, it's never going to work out. Like that literally has never worked once in the stock market. Like it's just not how it works, man. So yeah, no, that's a good plan. I agree. I think that's smart. I mean, and there's the contrarian play too, right? That like, okay, well, I'll go long but there's no way. I mean, I may grab some butterflies around the expected moves, but even then, I probably won't touch financials, to be honest. There's some other stuff that looks better risk to reward ratio for me, but I mean, I don't know. I did this before on U.S. Bank last quarter, and I had a hell of a freaking winner on it. But to be honest, I got lucky, I feel like, because it wasn't like the guidance happened to be better than it definitely should have. So I kind of got lucky, but man, this thing is just chopping everybody out this morning. I guarantee it. That's what it's doing. And I'm seeing really weak prints. No, I don't think this week is going to be, I think it's going to be way, way stunted. I just think with earnings, it's just everybody is going to get scared, which ends up being light volume, which then makes the whipsaw even worse. That's why I don't think people understand. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess it'd be pretty lackluster too.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm also sitting on my United Healthcare call. They have earnings this week too.
Yeah, man, you kind of got shafted on that. That's kind of.
These were all like monthly plays from like 2 or 3 weeks out.
I gotcha.
I've been sitting on for a while.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, dude, that Bernie thing was crazy. I mean, that was a hell of a push. I mean, nobody saw that coming, obviously, that day. But I definitely think stuff like that is in there. It's hard to say because when you go and get those monthlies, and with earnings, it's hard. It's why it's like. Especially in the moment when you're reading like technicals and you're like, okay, that's a good trade, and then it's always like, oh yeah, like I sent DT this it's one of the things that I use. Like I actually have it printed up on my desk, but like my like checklist thing, and it's one of the things I always forget for whatever reason is when you type in your name. It always comes up with like I always go to like all products. I'm very rarely in trade view, and so like it's rare that I actually look at their economic calendar for a specific name. And I've been doing this for a long time, and I forget. I just forget for some weird reason. It's like whenever we're near earnings, I will always be on it, and I always look. But as soon as we get like a month or two away, it's like I'm like, I don't know. It's hard to remember all that shit because you don't think about it. Yeah, no, I understand, dude. I do it too. Especially with like that one thing.
I did screw up because my UNA said those blew through the roof, and I should have sold them that day.
Yeah, one of those moves. I know what you mean. Those always suck because you're like you look back and you're like, why did I keep holding? You're like, because it's like.
I was up like 400%, and I was like, dude, this has got to keep going. And like the next day, it was down 80% from the top.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and we've gotten the market's gotten spoiled with things like Tesla and like even some of those runs in Apple where like it just kept going, and it's been like that for the last couple of years where it just kept going and kept going. Like so, like now it's one of those things where it's like no, like when it's up like. And I more look at the underlying anyway, but when it's up 4%, 5%, 6, 7, 8%, dude, there's no way. Like, statistically.
But, like, here's the thing. So, like, those spiked up, like, 400%, right? But, like, we're actually only up, like, 10 points.
Yeah, see, that's hard to say. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, but, like, a couple things, like, prior to that, when we were at those levels, like, the bid and ask were not that high. So, like, what I was thinking, if we, like, gapped up another, like, 5 points, I'm going to see another couple 100%.
Oh.
Like, breaking past the size that we were just at.
Right.
No bid or ask.
And then you're thinking, because you know about, like, short interest, and you're like, oh, well, if this is up this high, it's going to squeeze all these next people out. Yeah, I know what you're saying now. But see, you still had a plan and stuck to it, so, like, to me, that's still a win, because, like, at least as far as, like, strategy goes, it was,
Which, I mean, we still did gap up, but, like, the premiums didn't go with it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's what's crazy now at levels like this, with like the VIX being in the 40s even. I mean, if anything moves, dude, it's crazy how these IVs just absolutely go ballistic just because the VIX is so fucking high. And it's.
I don't know about it.
Yeah, I know, and I have a feeling. I mean, because earnings will help a little bit as far as like, for me, like making things happen and push up and things to talk about. But like, it sucks when it's like weeks like this because like you get all excited like pre-market and then just like want. You feel like during market hours, but then as soon as the market's closed and you start looking back at everything and then you get all excited again, and it's like every day, and you get so worn out by the end of a week like this. But I think earnings will make things at least somewhat exciting as far as like we're going to see some direction for the economy, for the market. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot coming up. I just think today's going to be the long kind of dragged out day. I think this will be the day, like this day will drag its feet compared to the rest of the week, I feel like. And not that I want the day to be over, but today is like the one day where I'm like, okay, like, I don't want to really like get my hands too dirty. I want to stay rested up. Like, I feel like tomorrow and then on I think the rest of the week is going to be pretty, well, not that we'll be moving as far as range, but there'll be a lot of stuff going on. We're going to see a lot of things that we need to know. Like, there's some numbers on earnings and stuff that I think are going to be very important to read into. So today's the day for me, it's kind of planning and like looking around, okay, if X and X happens or A, B, and C happens, then I'm doing D or whatever, kind of like that. Man, it wants to push down to that gravity point. It is just like, come here. Man, I'm glad I'm taking these tiny, tiny little wins. Like, I hate scalping like this. It drives me nuts. Oh, I don't know what to do here. Let me look around the market, see what's going on. That'll help me feel better. I mean, look, we're back down. We're in the second 45 minutes now, and we're already getting back into 800 negative ticks. Crazy. It's crazy how much faster those negative ticks go up compared to positive ticks. So, looking around the market, guys, XLP is down 1.1%. XLF is clear down to 3.2% as we read through. The financials are just looking absolutely weak all over the board, guys. Oil is still up about 2.5%. It was up about almost 6% there for a minute. I can't remember. I think it was 6%. The VIX is up now over 5% again, sitting at 43.77. Gold is down about 15 handles at 1737.40. The Nasdaq is still holding some strength here, most likely due to Amazon and Netflix. It is down just 0.45 as where the S&P is down 1.58. Bonds and treasuries are starting to make a push back up. They are both in the green, or red, I mean, sorry. They are both in the red, but they are not by much. So that is definitely something to take note, as well as with the internals. So looking at the FANGs, Facebook is down just about 2%. Apple has flipped back into the red, just down about 11 cents. Amazon is up about 2.87%. Netflix is nice and strong here, up 3.3%. Google down about 1.2%, and Microsoft trailing behind about at down 0.79. Boeing continuing to sell off here now. It's down 1.3% in the red after having a decent pre-market sesh. Roku is up 2% at 94.47. Activision still up about 1.95%. Shopify now up over 2%, and it is battling that upper Celt on the 4 hour, so that will be of note to watch that on Shop. Nvidia down about 0.3, and Tesla is up a nice whopping 24.5 handles at 597.87 or 4.4%. Baba Bidu, Baba's actually flipped into the green just by 1 cent. Bidu is down by 1 cent, so just right, pretty much flat. AMD is up 1.74%. Qualcomm up 1.6%. Disney is down now almost 4% at 3.86%. So it is closing in. There's a lot of support there. You can see in the middle lower chart on Disney. Closing in on the 4 hour, you've got the middle Celt, the 14 MA, and then below that, the 30 MA. So 14, the middle Celt, and 30. So there's some massive support. If it breaks that, there is no doubt in my mind that that thing is going to $92. So if it breaks through that, I may try to get short on a pullback or a pushback up. McDonald's is now down 2.4% as well. So yeah, definitely some things to watch there, guys. I think the big thing is watching bonds, treasuries, and the internals, because it seems like they're really leading the way here. So we are at 27.31, so we are getting to that gravity point. Once again, the 27.31 gravity point coming into play. I'm going to look for a possible long scenario here and see what we can do. They may want to just bounce off of that, but it's a long reach back up for that next upper gravity point, so I think it's just having a lot of trouble getting over some of these lines of resistance, especially that August dump. And it looks like it's trying to break through here, but... And there she breaks. There she blows. We do have a few minutes, though, here on the 5. Yeah, she's trying to break that 27.31. We are getting a daily low here at negative 1715 on the decline, as well as the negative breath continues to push down, and these ticks are super, super strong. The NYSE is a negative 3.23 to 1, and NASI is negative 1.46 to 1. So, yeah, pretty negative internals, as well as pushing down, making lower lows here in the ad decline here. They are not being able to save that on the 2731 so far. It looks like it is pushing down through. So this is starting to look a bit more bearish than we had anticipated this morning. So we will see. Still a lot of day left, but yeah. Huh, interesting. Wake up, monies! Oh my god, DT. Reminded me of that, what is it? That, wake up and need to make money. Bio moving up, huh? Again. Hold a second, guys. I need to grab another charger for this stupid thing. No, I've been out for a while, man. I took those profits and ran. No, I tried to get out of that thing is so, it's crazy because it can move big, but then it'll move really big and then just be really slow. So I take those profits as soon as I have them. I'm gone. The last trade was actually, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. The first one was amazing, as you know. Sweatshirt? What do you mean a sweatshirt? Why would a sweatshirt for sale? Yeah, what kind of shit is that? Signed by like Michael Jordan? Simpler times. What? Simpler? I think that's the opposite, my friend. Oh, I guess I get it. Exactly, like a pound. Like what the hell? That's funny. That's good. Yeah, got me. Hey, I don't understand. Man, why didn't this thing want to turn on? It's driving me nuts. Oh, I see why. What? Oh, what the hell? Everything on the other computer just froze. No. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Whew. Oh, look at this thing. Why is it so expensive? Damn, it's expensive. Why? What? Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, that's badass hoodie, dude. Yeah, these are definitely bouncing around on this 2731, but a lot of these internals are looking very, very negative. We got a few more earnings stuff to post here. There we go. Let's see here. Just updated some of the earnings stuff, guys, if you want to check it out later today when you get a chance. Nice, nice, Apex. Yeah, I've got to do a lesson with a student, and then I've got to go a couple things. So, same. I'll talk to you when you get back, homie, and we'll look at some stuff. Especially, we'll look at some of this earnings stuff. Have a good run, though, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it out there. Looks nice out, at least up here. Some Mountain Dew, I know. forgot to go get more Red Bull, but I've got one of those little mini espresso things, so I'll slam that when I need it here shortly. Does actually sound kind of good. Actually, I think I'm gonna go do that real quick, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my little espresso thing. I'm like super tired this morning. I wasn't even up late. I'll be right back. 1 second here on the you poopy tube.